Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my co-host, Tanya. How you doing today, Tanya? We're here on a Monday.
I know. Fresh opinion. Hot off the press.
Nobody's like infiltrated our ideas or thoughts, or like it's really new and like it's probably not good.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I haven't had time to think about it yet.
Well, if this is your first time here on Reality Realness, thank you for joining us. Welcome. Please do us a favor and subscribe right down below. Like, comment, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we go live, especially when we're on an unusual date, like a Monday. So, obviously, I'm happy to talk to you about The Bachelorette, but on a whole... 2 weeks ago we had the rest of the season preview, and it was like, what's gonna happen? And they really got me. Me. And then I keep on seeing the parts of the preview, and I'm like, oh man, like this sucks.
I know what they actually are in context is so much less exciting than what it seemed like in that preview, for sure. Especially what we saw tonight.
That's what I'm saying. The stuff that we saw tonight that we can like omit from the preview now, you're like, okay, that moment's done and that moment's done. One moment that we still haven't seen yet is his son calling out whatever. Daddy doesn't love me anymore. We haven't seen that yet, I don't think.
No, we haven't gotten there yet.
But yeah, we'll get into it, I guess. So at the beginning of this episode, we have the guys. They are really recognizing how real this is and the fact that 4/5 guys, like 4 guys went home last night, but 5 guys went home yesterday. And that the hometowns are next week, which that is actually very surprising.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
The season's dragging.
We're kind of building up to it at this point, but okay, sure, hometowns next week. Fine.
I guess since there was so much focus on the boring drama at the beginning, like who cares about Karl, who cares about Hunter, who cares about Thomas, like cutting rose ceremonies. Like I really wanted to see more of people dating her. Like that's what the show is about, is seeing her find love, not seeing her suss out who's there for the right reason. Like that's a completely different show, which could be interesting, which is I think the concept behind F-Boy Island is sussing out who's there for the right reason. So
yeah,
I feel like it's going to work better on that show. I think they just need to leave that trope alone. I'm over it.
It's a classic, yet at the same time, it feels like maybe because the guys seem to have like a lot of closeness and friendships that it just feels like such a reach in so many ways for them to like constantly be playing. It's just like, it's fine. You guys don't even dislike each other. Like you guys all seem to be friends. So do we really need to go down this road at this point? And like everyone seems to understand what was going to happen even this episode. So I was just like, what are we doing here? We could have gotten rid of some of these guys last week.
Oh, absolutely. That's another thing that just really got on my nerves. Like it's fine if you break the rules and it's your own journey and you do what you want. Fine. But like, okay, you sent 4 guys home in the last rose ceremony. Why couldn't you have sent 6?
Exactly. Keeping them for an extra week didn't even give them more of a chance to get to know you. So what was the point? Why?
Didn't get that at all. And who did she send home last week? She sent home Josh. Okay, well, Josh is still there last week. Oh my goodness.
No.
Courtney? No, I must have had a second book. I usually only write in my red book for The Bachelorette, but I must have written in my other book.
No, last week was Conor being sent home on the one-on-one, and then the 4 other surprise exits at the rose ceremony.
Who was it?
Trey. It was Trey, Aaron, Hunter, and who am I missing? There's one more.
James Boxman.
James. Okay, I couldn't even remember his elimination. That's how little happened with James. But like, and I remember then being like, "Oh, Brendon's still here."
Yeah, we did say that. We're like, there must going to be some drama with him and Blake or something, like hometown date together, 2-on-1 hometown, or I don't know, something. But nope, it was just all for nothing. Hi, Natalie. Okay. We'll be getting Andrew S for his tweets and Bachelorette Men Tell All is already filmed. Has Andrew S been tweeting?
Well, he had some tweets surface that were
those tweets.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So
Justin addressed them, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
I remember addressed them and said, like, yeah, I'm embarrassed by like a version of myself that doesn't exist anymore. Something like that. I don't think that Andrew S has said anything yet.
I'm not sure if I haven't really seen if he said anything about it. I just saw the tweets themselves, but I do wonder if he'll be at the Men Tell All. I guess he would be, right? Because he got eliminated.
When did they film the Men Tell All, Natalie? Do you know?
I think it was like this past week.
Oh, so it's super recent. So then those tweets could
within
be
the
addressed.
last 2 weeks, yeah. Maybe.
Is it going to be Emmanuel Acho again?
I'm curious about that. I was like, maybe they'll just have Caitlin and Tayshia do it. I don't really know.
I don't want them.
I think they'll only address the tweets if they're not pushing for him to be a contender for Bachelor, which is the vibe I got from the edit of this episode.
Okay.
A little bit at the end.
I don't know, man. I don't think that he could carry it right now. He's still a little bit young, I think. Like no offense. Like, I'm not trying to be ageist here, but you do learn more the longer that you've lived. Like, it's just facts. And so, he's only 26. That's still quite young to be the lead of the show. And I believe that Ben Higgins was 26. And look at where he is right now, saying that he had some sort of psychotic break or a nervous breakdown or something in that nature where I don't know if it's from the success of the show or the cyberbullying, whatever it is, but I think it could be because he came on the show at such a young age and he's very impressionable and people weren't probably kind to him, even though there's a lot of people that were very lovely to him. There's probably a lot of people that weren't. So I just don't know if 26 is old enough to be the lead of the show.
Oh, I don't think he's old enough to be the lead of the show, but I think the main contenders that we've been presented thus far are like Michael.
I don't want it. I really don't want this episode. Andrew, reminded me. Who
else is even being considered?
They said Wells. I was like, what? Wells?
Oh no. He's engaged, or is he married now?
I think they're still engaged. I don't think I heard that they're married. I mean, good for him. He got like something real, like a real celebrity, Okay, they haven't. Okay, so yeah, they haven't announced the host with the Men Tell All. Okay, well, I hope it's somebody like an Emmanuel Acho, or I don't want to see Tayshia and Caitlin right now because they're okay at the show. I think I just want one or the other, or them to really figure out their groove. I'm not buying them as a duo because they're not a good duo. Like, I like the idea of having two people be the host, but they need to have it's like Penn and Teller. Like, they're like a duo. Like, they're like, they need each other because they are an act together. And I feel like they're separate and they're trying to do one job. And I'd rather them be a duo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
pure speculation. I actually didn't think about that's a good question, or like that's a good point that's raised. Like, how is the Men Tell All going to happen, and are they going to get a new host for that? How are we really going to go about that? I am curious. I didn't even think about that till literally just now. I was just thinking, it'll be the Tell All show, but like, who's going to facilitate that?
Will it be? Oh my God, this would make me angry. What if it was Matt James?
Yeah, I mean, it would never be. But
he's been doing a lot of publicity and stuff in his short pants. Lots. He just might be the it guy. What if he would bring Rachel Lindsay?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I think I would like to see her do something like that, but I think seems to be really past franchise now.
Well, we'll figure out. Maybe we'll have an epiphany by the end of the show of like this recording. So back to the episode. Katie is talking to Tayshia and Caitlin about how she's considering hometowns, obviously. And this is what I don't understand. Why is she considering hometowns with somebody? We kind of started the episode talking about this, but with people that she hasn't been on a one-on-one date. Like, how did they get this far? How did they get this far without having a one-on-one? There's 6 people left. 2 people haven't been on a one-on-one with you, and you want to go meet their family? Like, how does that make any sense? Go, tell me.
Having a late one-on-one doesn't make sense either. Like, I feel like even having a one-on-one this week, unless it's your second one, it doesn't even make sense anyways. No, I don't mean I know why. I think it's just, it's like obviously so silly. But there always has to be some element of, I think, producers deciding like who gets the dates at this time. They always give someone that second one-on-one. They always leave someone kind of in the dust. And it's kind of like my fear. Honestly, I would feel like if I was a contestant on The Bachelor, the last person I would want to be is a Brendon, where it's like, you know, the entire time that you're not actually going to win. I guess you maybe gain some followers or whatever, sort of, but they barely showed him. Like, his hair is the biggest thing that we know about him, really, because we don't see him that often. And when we do it, it doesn't really, like, make an impact. So it's just like those people that just kind of like drift through, that are floaters, that also don't get the benefit of like having anything support their growth as a character on the show. He's just kind of drifted into this spot, and like, that's it. That's all he's got. Like, it's not a good place to be. You have to know that you're not going to make it to hometowns, obviously. When I think he did.
I think that's what the problem was, is that everybody's like, okay, well, I have to get a date if I even want to have a chance at being at hometowns, because like, I don't want to bring her home to my family if I don't have a one-on-one date with her. I don't even know if I like her. Like, I've just been on these weird dates with her, like playing basketball or whatever, these like foosball silly dates. So yes, let's do this, BB. Do you have any intel about the men tell all who might be hosting? And do you have any understanding as to why on earth they would leave 2 men that have not been on a one-on-one to the final 6? It's just so stupid to me. It's like they don't want her to find love. Is that it? Do I just have to like know that the producers don't want her to find love? They would rather make a compelling TV show more?
I think they just have a formula that they copy and paste every season, and someone's the unlucky person that doesn't get the time, and someone's the Greg that gets all the time. And that's just what happens.
Which is what this date card basically said. Greg, let's see if this can really work. And everyone was surprised, including Greg, but Greg didn't even look happy. He was like, like,
that tweet. I sent you a tweet during the episode so everyone knows, of like it panning in on his face when he receives that date. And it says, it says, this is the moment that Greg realized he was going to have to propose. And that's totally how that felt. You could tell he was like, oh my God, I was thinking I was the understudy for the role, and now I have to go on for the part? No, I wasn't ready for this performance. Like, he really had to shift into I'm going on the date mode. He was not ready for it. Oh my God.
Like, why was he so surprised? Like, he has to realize that he's been the front runner for forever. Like, it's not that it's been so obvious to all of us. We'll just replay this image again. And the quote says, it's in the moment Greg realized he's going to have to propose. Hashtag the Bachelorette. Dead though, Tanya, I was laughing out loud.
But you know what this means? This means that Superfan Hunter was right, because he did say that Greg was likely to get a second one-on-one. So Superfan Hunter strikes again.
Hunter for Bachelor! Hunter for Bachelor!
You never know.
Never ever know. Okay, so we got a big hooju here.
Huge.
At the beginning of the date, she runs wearing matching green shirts, and she jumps and wraps the leg. It was high above his waist, so it was like a very it was a big hooju. Did you give it some good points?
You in big letters. She really got wrapped around him well there. So good for her.
Yeah, I did write big hooju in capital letters, so I was very impressed. It was the biggest hooju of the season.
Biggest.
Hilarious. Okay, so I didn't really care about this date. There was a lot of kissing, like, moments. I didn't know how it started, but what was the throwing the fish thing? What happened there?
So she had a date set up that was to remind her of Seattle and to introduce him to Seattle. So Katie's Place Market was the location. And this is where they had kind of like a Pike Place Market set up with the fish, with, I don't even know, those flowers. So kind of like stepping into the marketplace. And for some reason, they were throwing fish. I don't know if this is a Seattle thing. Maybe someone can let me know if this is what happens there. Like, it was just something they were trying to do in addition to blow bubbles, like bubblegum bubbles.
Oh, yes, and they touch the bubbles, right.
Yeah, and give each other flowers. And shuck oysters. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Shuck oysters is, like, that's fun. That's fine. That's a date. I guess they're just trying to really utilize this location. But I was just like, I don't know what I was doing. I was sidetracked, I guess. And then all of a sudden I just see them throwing fish around. I'm like, how did we get here? And I didn't bother rewinding.
And then he broke the lighting. He broke the lighting fixture while throwing the fish.
Yep, that happened. And then was it? Oh, no, it was later on, I guess. Okay. So I didn't really, she said that she feels all giddy and, when they're talking, like, oh, you make me nervous. You make me nervous. Like, I can't watch their dating anymore. I don't like it.
No. It just doesn't feel like they're actually together. Like, I don't know. It feels performative. It does. Like, I think she's very attracted to Greg. I think he's making his play in the way that he is. And that's what we're witnessing go down. She has way more chemistry with Blake. That's actually palpable, in my opinion.
I agree. Even though that their combo weirds me out a little bit too.
Oh,
I don't know what it is.
Sorry, I'm just gonna relocate myself quick.
No problem. Hi, Cassandra. Yes, tonight's episode, that's what we're talking about, is like, it's such a snoozer. And we're just like, why did they leave these two men to come to the final six in order for her to just send them home without a date, or like with a date but send them home only half date? Like, we're just like, why? This season started out so promising, and then it really, really plummeted. I don't know how they dropped the ball so badly. What happened? Greg was trying to remember his notes from his acting class. Absolutely. LOL is right. He was like, okay, so I have to really take a deep breath and look deeply into her eyes and say these things. One thing that I thought should have been really indicative to her was when she gives him the rose and he's like, I haven't introduced someone to my mom in such a long time. Oh, sorry, it was before the rose, but saying that. And she's like, oh, do you think that you're going to get a rose? You're going to have to meet your mom. And I think that he was really thinking about it in the moment, being like, oh, this is weird. Like, I don't know if I want to introduce her. That's what it felt like, that he didn't really want to introduce her to his mom yet.
I think he wants to be the Bachelor, I think. So, like, the potential that she'll actually pick him at the end, he's like, oh dear, this feels like it could actually happen, especially because he has the second one-on-one. His biggest competition is Blake. At this point, he has the advantage because he's had the 2 one-on-one dates. So he's got to be realizing that he's got to push he's got to push through or like make it at least closer to the end before hopefully he leaves or she breaks up with him, or I don't know what's really going to happen with them, but I don't foresee them ending up together, honestly. I think he'll be final 2.
With Blake, so he's both him and Blake are finals 2?
I think so.
I can see that for sure. Greg seems very low vibrational, so I somewhat relate to him, but I don't believe what he's saying to Katie. Yeah, it's just kind of like, he doesn't seem that interested. He doesn't seem like he has that much fun. He doesn't seem like he wants to really be there. He doesn't seem to want to include her in his life. It just seems like he's saying lines.
Yeah.
So like
it feels like a film class. The dinner portion of the date felt like a film class for sure.
Bean's saying he's remembering his notes from his class. Greg, just be a better actor. Like, you could act just act a little bit more like you like her. I don't know why she hasn't clued in that she's not giving off to me the like, I like you and I want to marry you vibes. Like, I don't feel that.
No. Maybe it's because she had to mention 5 times that they were matching. We know. Green. I don't understand what's going on, Katie. I don't understand. Also, I just have to shout out, there's one portion of the date where they have like recreated one of those walls with gum stuck all over it. I feel so badly for whatever person this part of the crew had to do that. Like, that is
that's
so
kind of fun though. Wouldn't you be like, hey, everybody
chewing gum and sticking gum on this like plywood? Like, come on. Oh my goodness.
No, they got everybody on crew to do it and just be like, give me your gum, give me your gum, give me your gum. You think it's poor PA, a third AD,
yes.
PA?
Totally.
I would like to be behind the scenes for that. That's quite funny. So what do you think about the phone call with Michael and his son? And I know I'm seeming like I'm being a heartless biatch, but it seems, I just don't believe that this is how he talks to his son. It's just, I don't know. It means that's just so like I'm like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem real to me.
How
old is his son? How old is his son? Because
I don't know.
I talk to my niece and nephew who are 3, like they're not adults, but I don't baby their language. Like, I speak to them like they understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And I don't do too much of a little baby voice with them. Like, I don't know. It's just so weird to me.
He was trying to show us how hard he dads. He's such a dad.
That's what it felt like. Like, look at how much dadding I do.
Dad, I don't know if you know, I have a son. You know?
And I have a really good relationship with him. Really good.
Also was just like clearly the setup for the kid being like, you are spending all your time with the Bachelorette. But at the same time, it clarified. Remember how we were like, I find it hard to believe that he doesn't actually talk to his child every day while he's there. Like, he probably gets daily calls. Confirmed. Because he's like, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And we'll like, don't worry, we'll talk tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, so you just talk to him every day. It's fine. You've chosen at this point to stay here long enough where you talk to your son every day. You're going to be just fine. I'm not doubting that he misses his child, obviously. But like, this is ridiculous. like, this entire thing is ridiculous.
Cassandra is not a fan. Yay!
Oh.
These are all caps here. Did you press shift, or what did you pull? Like, press the caps lock? Like, what's the extent of you writing "I can't stand him" would be the question. If you want to be with your kid, then go home. Wow. No, he wants to be the Bachelor. Like, this is the Bachelor application right now. And it's not like he needs to be there. I'm tired of his whining. Wow. Do you know what bothers me? And I don't know if it's just I'm being heartless, but even him just being like, just so happy to be like, oh, we get another day here with Katie. And like, we're just able to like, really embrace this experience. Like, I'm so grateful to go. I'm just like, God, you're not real. That's like, ugh.
He's there to appeal to the same audience that they're hoping will watch that shitty Mark Wahlberg movie that they keep promoting, where he's like a dad standing up against bullying, which is really, really ironic coming from Mark Wahlberg of all people. I was like, this is for all the Michael fans out there. People who just love this like American dad, like, you know, tragic story against all odds. Like, look at him just doing his thing, so wholesome. And it's just a specific set of people really are drawn to that narrative. I'm sure Michael's a fine person, by the way. Please don't come for me. I'm sure he's a nice person. I'm just saying
amazing.
He's here to fulfill a certain type that they need to be present in the show.
And it's not my type. It's not my type. It's not who I, you know what? I literally, even though I love talking to you, I don't know if I could watch his season and like cover it. Like, I just don't know if I would just be so annoyed by everything. Like,
don't have an interest in that at all, actually.
You know what I mean? Though, like, to like, okay, let's see his dates and his kissing and talking about his son and then his ex and like not beautiful moments, absolutely, but his delivery of them, it's just kind of played out, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
There's always somebody like this that's in the show. There's always somebody that's filling this dad role, and this time it's gotten him pretty far. He's kind of like on potentially a Jason Mesnick track here, if he is
who I wasn't even a fan of.
Which I don't think Michael A is actually being considered to be the Bachelor. Like, really, I just can't see that. I just don't see it.
He's been doing so much publicity, and everybody's like, everybody loves you! And he has like a full beard, and like, he's like, they're like, how does it feel like to be like the most beloved Bachelor contestant? Like, everybody's just like, oh, you know, I'm like, they want him to be the Bachelor hard. And he has the full beard thing going on, like, he's working it for sure.
He's trying to glow up the look, and he does look better with the facial hair.
He does look better with the facial hair. He looks a little bit more like rugged and a little bit more like but I'm not a fan of his vibes, like, at all. I don't want to watch him kiss 30 girls. Like, I don't want to see anybody crying over him. I don't want to see him crying over any of the women. None of that. None of it. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I have a bad feeling he's going to be the next Bachelor, though, with his weird, cheesy smile. Cassandra is not a fan at all. He's my last person on my draft. What?
Cassandra chose violence tonight. And I mean, whatever. This is a late night show. We're just speaking our truth. These are rapid fire reactions. This is how we feel.
That's how we feel before we've edited ourselves for 24 hours. We're like, okay, Michael's not that bad. Like,
I can feel the Michael A fans just like seething, and I understand, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that's your guy. You know.
You know what? I'm sorry that he's my last person, pretty much on my draft. How did we get here? How did
I don't know.
Here? Nobody wants to be here. Who else is there to be? Who else is there for it to be? There's no other options. Justin, I think it has to be. I want Justin now. I'm gonna go hard. I know it's not gonna be him. I know, especially with these.
For this episode, Justin, I'm not thinking is in contention, but maybe.
I think those, do you know what? Like out of the dads that we know of from the season, I like Hunter better. I said it.
That's a hot take.
I said it.
That is a hot take.
I like his, like, even though he was being the villain and all that stuff and he was being annoying, I like his delivery of just conversation better than I like Michael A's, like, kind of like sheepish and like, can I kiss you? I was like, oh my God. Like, if I had to hear him kiss, like, say, can I kiss you to 30 women? Like, I just can't have it. No.
I'm obsessed.
Okay. Maybe they will pick Ben Smith from Tasha. Are you kidding me? Is that a maybe positive? Like, that's like close to worse. Is that, who's better?
Ben is better. What do you mean?
He's so
I
annoying.
would rather see
Wait, you
Ben.
liked him?
No, I don't like him. But I did have a brief moment where I was like, is Ben hot? And then I had like a week where it was when he broke all that stuff. Remember? There's like he like broke a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like maybe I like this, but then I quickly didn't go back on the Ben train after
that. Me and my best friend Anna were just like, anytime we see a guy that we're like, oh, we don't know if he's hot, and we see him get angry or something like that, we're like, ooh, like that's probably his like sex face, and like, we're just like.
For some reason, I was intrigued in that moment, but then he
so by his sex face, basically.
Maybe. I mean, read me. That's fine. I don't know. He's. I don't think that he would be a compelling bachelor either, but I would rather see him than Michael. I think
I'd rather see him. Yes, BB. Are you trying to make me laugh? Could I be more specific? You're getting the feeling that I dislike Michael just a little bit. Oh, I mean, this is just all Cassandra. Isn't it annoying though? Like, no.
Listen, consent is nice, but I understand what you're saying. It's not about consent. It's about the approach. Like, yes, and I don't think Katie likes that as much. Like, I think she's more receptive to a more forward Blake style, where they just are confident. You know, they just go for it.
Like, there's implied consent in a lot of things, and I feel as though even with Katie as a bachelor, like if she wasn't interested in something, she wouldn't go through with it. So I guess I totally agree, because it is great, necessary, but I think when you're at the point in their relationship that they're at, I don't think he needs to ask every time.
Yeah,
I just don't
like
think
you're
so.
Dating her,
right?
You're dating.
So it's kind of like you're like on a date with your, can I kiss you? It's like, are you new? Like, we're dating. Like, you're my husband. Like, you don't have to ask me every time. Like, let's do it, or the mood's gone.
You're talking about being the stepmother to my child. So I don't know if I need to ask permission for the kisses anymore.
So much. Ben Smith doesn't even talk about the show. That's true.
He doesn't.
That's true.
And that makes me like him more, to be honest.
No, what makes me like him more? We didn't talk enough about it, but the fact that Tonya, was on his season. That was what was epic about him. I was like, you need to touch more as to why she's your hometown date. That was
unexpected crossover.
Like, love that. And speaking of Top Chef, I didn't think that he was gonna win. I was surprised.
I have a lot to say about that. But
out of all the people in the finals, I thought he was the least likely to win. Like, that's what I was like. Yeah. His food hasn't been great the whole season. I thought that everybody else had more wowed food throughout the season. I don't know about their final dishes, but like, I was like, the two people I really wanted to win did not win. Yep. Yes, there is consent, and there's creepiness. BB. It's true though. The way he does it just seems creepy. It does seem like, I don't know. I guess I don't find him sexual, so the fact that like he's like horny and wants to kiss you, it just kind of grosses me out. I did hear Ben is still hung up on Tayshia. Really? I can see that. He watched DeMario and Corinne Olympio on Paradise dying. I mean, not dying, but like that I think messed up a lot of things, but he probably did do that. That's probably what he's so scared of, is like maybe having that situation.
I'd rather somebody be overly careful about it than the opposite. So, sure. I won't shade him for this one. I will just say that I agree, like from the perspective of if you're in a relationship with this person, I agree. I don't think that every time that we're like making out that we need to have can I kiss you conversation, and that's okay, and that still is consenting in the context of what we see of Katie and Michael. That's like, I think it's fine.
Agreed. Okay, so what else happened? Okay, it's a phone call with Mike and his son where I was like, I couldn't even watch it. It was just so annoying. I gave you 5 points for that gigantic hooju. The night portion, he obviously gets the rose. So you know what this means. You're gonna meet my you're gonna meet my mom. So yeah, 5 points there. So you got 10 points for Gregor's in that one date, and he doesn't even want to be there. Very annoying. So in the confessional, Katie was quite giddy, and she's just like, can't figure out how to say, like, I'm falling in love for you. I'm falling in love with, is it with? Like, was that actually her being confused, or was that her acting? Like, I guess couldn't tell what that was.
Katie's checked out at this point. Like, I could feel Katie's soul leave her body in this episode. Specifically later on, I could tell exactly when it happened, but I could feel Katie drifting out of whatever she needs to do as a bachelorette. Now she's just like, she seems very over it, or like very like, she'll say things and be like, I'm so happy to see you. And then her face is like not happy. And I'm like, okay. she's like going through it. Like she's in the final stretch. This is probably like one of the worst like points of filming where you have to like go through this before you get to the hometowns and you know you're in the serious like ending part. So I have some empathy for that, but I could tell she's done. Katie's done.
Can't wait until Katie says, no, you can't kiss me, and sends him home next time. Cassandra, you don't think he's going to make it to final 3? I think he's final 3. He's getting that fantasy sweet moment. Hi, Tamika. We're just complaining about this episode and are just like pretty much for everybody that's left, especially Michael.
The vein for this show that we are recapping.
Tamika, she's been hanging out with me during the day. I'm doing Love Island, so at 3 p.m. Eastern every day we talk about it. So that's where she's been, BB. And she was here last week, but we were on an off day. You're checked out of the season? I mean, everybody hates the season. Everybody hates it.
I mean, I think we're in our own realm of people who are haters of the season. There's a lot of people on Reddit that, like I said, stan Katie and like love this season. I think it's okay to not love every season of this show, especially because it's this show. Like, we're not exactly being super critical by watching it to begin with, but like, it's fine to be like, this is a weak season. It's weak. It's not that exciting. It should have been more exciting, especially the way that they made it seem like it was going to be. And it's not. Like, it's just not. Sorry.
It started off, we had such high hopes. And
yeah. I enjoyed some of those earlier episodes, honestly.
I did. Definitely the first episode I thought was great. I think even the second episode I remember still being pretty high.
Interested in like laughing and enjoying myself, but things quickly went downhill.
Okay, so Natalie wants to know if Dr. Joe, Riley, Piper are going to be on Paradise later in the season. I don't think they laid out a cast, but I think that cast is everybody, and then maybe like whoever doesn't win this show might also still be coming on Paradise. But I didn't see. Was Piper there? Was Piper and Brendon there? Is that how they're going to fake first meeting?
Brendon is there. I think because he's there, we can expect to see her there for sure. For sure. Like, there's no way they're going to miss out on that opportunity to have that happen.
Like, oh, let's pretend that we haven't been dating for the last 6 months in New York. Mm-hmm. And then we'll go on Paradise, and then maybe we'll go to a wedding.
Dr. Joe was announced to be on. Like, before, like, not in the cast that they revealed, but remember back before they're like Bachelor in Paradise, they said that Dr. Joe was going to be there. So I guess he will show up later because I thought that was confirmed, but he's obviously not part of the original crew that's there.
Oh boy, Tamika stopped reading Reddit. Oh boy.
Wise decision.
I mean, it's good for sleuthing, but
I actually love Reddit, but it's hard once you get into like a hole of reading what's happening there. There's a lot of like the same opinions being, or especially like with the Bachelor stuff. There's a lot of, I guess, like groupthink about certain things where it's like, this is how we feel about this, and it's like, no, there's a lot of opinions that could happen.
Yeah, just our group here, we all have this one opinion, and everybody else.
Yeah.
So I agree with you here. She's saying Katie's outfits have been really bad, which is usually something that I enjoy about The Bachelorette. That's something that I've been commenting quite a bit. I'm just kind of like, I'm not like, she hasn't been like a wow where I'm just involved in the fairy tale. And I don't know if that's just me being shallow, that I want it to be a little more glitzy and somebody that's a little bit more like, unattainable. I don't know if that's what is not allowing me to connect with her as much or connect with the whole show as much, but she might just be too relatable. You know what I mean? For my enjoyment, personally.
Sometimes, like, they've given her nice dresses and styled her well. I think the casual stuff looks weird to me. I don't know what it is about it. Like, even that outfit that she was wearing on Greg's date. And I don't know if it's part of her, because she, I think, posted today being like, when you're over dressing up and you just want to wear casual clothes or something like that. And it was like a picture of her in the green t-shirt and the jeans. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with wearing a t-shirt and jeans. I totally respect that. But this t-shirt and jeans don't really look that good. Like, there's so many nicer combinations that could happen that are just as simple and basic. Like, this is just like, makes it seem like she's more basic than she probably is. You know what I mean? Like, yes. It just doesn't look good. Like, with the way they've styled her hair, even, I'm just like, make her look better. She looks good and stuff. Like, the pink dress that she was wearing at the ceremony, I thought she looked great in that. I thought she looked beautiful. Like, she looks good. Just like style her better, please.
I mean, it just must be that she doesn't have her own personal style. Like, we talked about this quite a bit. So it would be like, yes, no, yes, no. And so people are just like, oh, so she's supposed to be relatable. So she's just wearing like elevated Old Navy, as we talked about already. But like I've even mentioned before, where it's like, if I was going on Big Brother or any of those shows where like I need to be wearing my own clothes, I would go on a shopping spree and buy all these fun outfits, like fun casual, like. So if you have to your disposal a person or a team of people styling me for an entire season, I would have the best of the best out of casual clothes. Like, I would look cute all the time and just be like, like, anyways, maybe she just doesn't care. And I do care about fashion. I think it's fun. So maybe that's also the difference here. What else happened in this episode? Anything interesting? Well, the men are waiting on a date card. And Brendon is worried. He's like, already Greg got a date and they were surprised by that. And if he doesn't get a date here, like, how can he have her meet his family? So the date card says Justin, Andrew, Blake, Michael A., and of course, Brendon. So Brendon does not get a one-on-one before home dates. So Brendon wants to know why he's still here, so he decides to go and knock on Katie's door. He must have known that this means that he's going to go home right now, right?
Well, he asked the question we've all been asking. Why am I still here? And I think he actually deserves to know the answer to that, really. Like, at this point, it's kind of ridiculous that he didn't get anything up until now. She kept him last week, which kind of leads you to believe, oh, I'll probably get a one-on-one finally, since she decided to keep me. So when that drops and he doesn't get it, why am I still here? Please elaborate. I would love to know why also, because it doesn't make sense.
And so he goes to see her, and she's like, hey, you, and oh my god, like, she's so like put off by like, it seems pretty. It's not that weird for somebody to come knock on your door anymore at this resort. Like, that it's either going to be a producer or your casting producer or somebody. Or Blake or somebody of the other men that are here for your season. Like, it's just not that surprising. I always look good because I just know someone might be showing up at my door. So she was feigning, I guess, being awkward to see him. And she was saying, though, this is so awkward. She is so awkward. Why? Like, I just was like, why are you being so awkward? Like, this is a guy that, like, didn't have a date card. Clearly, he's coming over to see you to ask you why the F he doesn't have a date card. Why she was being so awkward and weird. I just was like, I didn't get it. I would put two and two together, I would think. And then she says, like, I don't think that we can get there in time, like, with the relationships that I have with the other men. We're just all like, yeah, we knew that. He knew that. Why is he still here? We want to know that. She didn't answer that question.
No, and you weren't going to let him go if he didn't show up here. You were just going to wait till the rose ceremony to eliminate him. So,
which is like, why didn't you just eliminate him last week? Who cares?
Exactly. Also, you have to... Did you see him go up to the door and then like struggle apply the chapstick really quickly before he went in? Like he like knocked and then was waiting and then suddenly like remembered that he had his chapstick and was like, oh no. Does he think just in case like she wants me to stay or have a makeout here? Like that was so funny. It was so fast. I was cracking up. Loved it.
That is, I'm gonna have to go back and pull that. I need that clip on my channel.
It just like happens like so quickly. It's just like.
Yes, just the fact that you're doing it for me right now made it worth it.
It's even better.
He says, I was so happy he confronted Katie and stopped getting his time wasted. That's the thing. Like, how long ago did she realize that it wasn't going to be him? Probably like a month ago. Like,
at the beginning of the show.
They probably just like, yeah, not going to be you. But the producers want me to keep her here for some Blake drama that never happened. Like, what? Cassandra's with me. Yes, she's too relatable. It needs to be somebody a little bit more unattainable, you know? That's why I think what happened many years ago now, but when I think that the season went down for me, when they started doing the whole, like, somebody that was a contestant that got their heart broken is going to be the next Bachelor, where they just end up being some normal guy. They're like, oh, it's a retail salesman. Like, I don't care about the retail salesman falling in love. I like seeing when it was like the Prince and even like Andrew Firestone. And I did like seeing it being like a little bit more like lavish and wow. And that's why these dates were so spectacular, because this is the life that they're going to possibly live. And so I think they need to go back to that.
Maybe they just need to choose people that are more compelling. Like, I kind of like the chunk of time that's a little bit more recent, where we have like Rachel season or Kaylin season, like JoJo, Rachel.
Well,
like
I feel like for the women,
you know, like I don't mind, because they were interesting enough as leads that I was still, or like even like Andy as a lead, I was interested in her as a lead. Like they had something to offer me. I think with this latest string of Bachelors and Bachelorettes, it's been like, ooh, like this is getting dull. Like this is not, these people are not exciting in any way.
Well, that's the thing. I don't remember what Emily's career was, but like Rachel, lawyer, Andy, lawyer, like they have like careers and like they're high powered, and so that they're already used to handling high stress situations. So for the men, it has been that they were, you know, doctors, princes, whatever. But for these women, they're very accomplished. And so that's probably why we're also like, wow, like to see like this powerful woman find somebody that can add to her already awesome life. I just don't, I think she's just too basic. If she had like a little bit more of an exciting career, we didn't even hear about her career. I don't even know anymore like about Katie. I don't know anything about her. She has TikToks, some cringeworthy TikToks. She makes like some boozy drinks on social media. She likes Greg. She likes being casual.
Yeah, I mean,
she doesn't know
a lot about her personal life.
Well, that section, yeah, and a little bit about her upbringing,
her family, and then like just like, you know, her personal life and things that she was able to kind of talk about. So we did get to know some things about her, but yeah, I don't know. Not everyone's meant to be the lead. Neither was Matt, you know, really, you know, it doesn't work. So It is what it is.
Oops, what's this? People compare her to Caitlyn, but Caitlyn is like actually a quirky girl. Katie is just boring. I agree with you, Cassandra. I find Caitlyn really fun and like exciting and quirky and like silly, and she's comedic and she doesn't take herself seriously. And I think that people want Katie to be like Caitlyn, but she's not. They're not the same person, not at all. That's why Tasha was my favorite from last season. She's so pretty. I actually also think Tasha's kind of boring now. I liked her season, but I'm kind of.
I think if you're gonna have someone who's like a relatable person, that's totally fine. But this show is like constructed in a way where they're trying to fit the lead into this archetype of like this powerful, cool woman, which is partly why Katie's telling off of Thomas felt like so awkward and weird. It's like, it's the same with Ashley H. Remember when she was a Bachelorette? It's like she has a different vibe than other Bachelorettes. So why are you trying to make them fit into this like character that you've created, basically, that you want these women to fit into, when that's not what their natural fit is? So like, I think if they catered the season actually genuinely more to the energy of the lead instead of trying to make them all fit into this box. They do it with The Bachelor too. They're all like fitting into the specific idea that they've created of what they want it to be. So I don't think it's the fault of the leads that it's constructed in a way and they've been cast in a role that they're not good for, you know? They're just trying to fit in with what happens. And I think that's why people become so disconnected. I feel like Desiree was also another example of someone who's like, doesn't really normally fit the vibe of this, even though all the pieces are there. Just like lean into what makes her herself, which I guess kind of worked a little bit better in her season. But again, they did the dramatic thing of being like, she's in love with this person and he's leaving. And then she ends up with this guy instead. Like it was kind of like that for her. And she's still with her winner, right? Like she's still, you know, so I feel like some of these girls that are probably cool and normal women just don't fit this role that well. And then they're forced to perform it in the way that the show wants. And that, I think that's the disconnect. Not everybody fits that. Whereas someone with Rachel, Andy, Caitlyn carry themselves with a more natural confidence, that's a better fit for this role naturally. I think that's maybe what I'm getting from it.
I hear you. I agree. So Cassandra likes Michelle, but she seems like a bore to me too. I'm not sure what it seems as though because she's a teacher and stuff like that, she might be very good at being open and having conversations and I might see more interesting conversations, being like, I like you. I like getting to know you. I like you. Like, I want more. So even on her date, her first one-on-one with Matt James, I remember just like, oh, this is a nice conversation. Look at, they're getting to know each other. Like she's talking about her students, like how Black Lives Matter affected her as a teacher in her classrooms. And that was interesting to me. So if she's going to be willing to bring those type of conversations to the table and like, let me just really seeing her getting to know these men actually, that as opposed to it just being dramatic because she's going to kick someone off that's there for the wrong reasons, like, I think then she'll be okay. I hope so.
I think okay. She came across pretty natural, and like, I just hope they cast good men for her. Honestly, I hope they cast good guys for her and stop casting some of these flops that they bring on the show. Like, cast guys that are down to date her. Cast people that are like deserving of doing that. I know it's still a game at the end of the day, so there will be some trolls in there. But like, I hope she gets a good group because I think she has the potential to be good.
What if Thomas shows up on her season?
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah, Michelle has a lot more charisma, and she's I think used to a little bit more the role of having people want to date her. You know what I mean? She's just more of a familiar territory, it seems like, anyways. She seemed really comfortable. How'd you feel about Brendon knocking on Blake's door with his suitcase?
Okay, so we're just assuming that they're friends now, or we're there. We've made that leap. You showed us nothing, but thank you. Thank you.
And he's gone. So Blake the next day or later on, I don't know which day it was, tells the group of guys about Brendon leaving. And they're going to go on their other date. So were these all vagina flowers? Is that what this date was?
They have to stop doing this. Like, they have to stop doing this thing where they edit something that's so sexual in nature, or at least implied, which is that these flower paintings, which were ridiculous, and this painter, I don't know, she's actually an artist, it seemed to me like a not real person and maybe a performer. I don't know. My apologies if she actually did make these paintings of vulvas. Stop playing the silly music underneath. Stop it. That's not sex positive. Is playing music under paintings of vulvas. Stop. I can't with this. This is ridiculous.
Wasn't there an episode of Sex in the City where like Charlotte went to like an art gallery and it was all vagina flower paintings?
And I mean, like, that's a thing. Like, we all know that this is like something that's evokes, you know, imagery of that, flowers. It's a thing that happens. It's not new. It's not a new idea. It's not that scandalous of an idea. And these paintings were also just like, I don't know where they found them. Again, I don't think she painted them. Maybe she did. Please let me know if she did, because I just don't believe it. This was so weak. This is exactly like the sculpting date. Yeah, they were just trying to get that same moment, and actually like banked on Blake giving us the same type of moment. This was so half-assed.
It was so half-assed. So Jacqueline Sikora was her self-portrait, and she kind of pops in, and they're all like giggling like schoolboys over these like pictures that weren't even like, I've seen photo like paintings that are more resembling, you know, the vulva, but these ones were a little bit more flower looking, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't as obvious as I've seen some of these photos. Sure. And so the fact that they were just like giggling and laughing, and then like Jacqueline pops up, they're like, oh my God. I'm just like, where am I? Why are we here? What did I do to deserve this? So Justin, okay, so Katie's like standing in the middle as inspiration for everybody making their own painting, and she gives Andrew a kiss while he's like working on his. Justin sees it and makes one of our favorite, like Justin, like I don't even know how he does his faces, but like he's so
like,
expressive.
What am I gonna paint? What am I gonna paint? A rose? That's what I know how to paint. I'll do that one again.
I actually, on his Instagram, he has some nice like paintings. Like I
had to look it up because I thought there's no way he's actually like an artist. I was like very confused based on the spread of his work that we've seen over the course of the season. I was like, I don't know. But then I did look at his Instagram. He does have art on there. It does look good. So I take that, you know, I'll take that to heart. But I think he just ran out of time here and was really like focused on painting that rose, and then was like, oh, I actually need to like fill this canvas more, which is where the other things came from.
What's really interesting is the first thing that you learn when you paint, like I'm not even a good painter, but I've taken hundreds of art classes. And the first thing that you learn when you're painting a white canvas is no matter what, you paint the canvas. Like you always paint the canvas first, because you just don't want to have it white and then you have like an outline of stuff. Like you need to like, even if you paint it white, you still have to paint the canvas. And so the fact that nobody did, it just looks so bad. I'm like, all these could have been like a little bit better. You could have made it look a little bit abstract and like have like bleeding edges, like make it look kind of artistic. But they were all just like on a white canvas with a thin paintbrush, bad art. So I was like,
totally go abstract with this. I would go abstract and then give some kind of metaphorical explanation that's very basic about what I painted. And I think that would be fine. Although, to be fair, we don't really know what Blake's canvas looked like. He could have painted it all.
That's true. Well, you know what, though? He didn't even do a good job, in my opinion, of that, because another thing that you're supposed to do is paint the sides. That's another thing that you learn in art class, is like always paint around the edges, because nothing looks more amateur than white canvas sides. So there are some tips for you guys. If you ever want to look like you know how to paint a little bit, paint the whole canvas, including the sides, before you even start with any of your artwork. Just saying. So the paintings are rear view. Well, was it a painting or was this like a sculpture? I can't even remember now.
Yeah.
Okay, so he did a sculpture, Michael A's thing, and I didn't even realize what it looked like. Did it look like a butt? Like I was confused.
It's like cover.
Oh, that's why there was a black box. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
I hate the show. I hate the show. I hate the show. Why they black box
then? Why? What's the purpose? Why did you do this?
I don't know. Okay, so the next one is Our Journey, and that was from Justin. And I was like, it started off good with this flower. He really should have painted the whole canvas and just put the flower in there, and that's all he needed to do. Like, it's just because he had all that white space, and when you paint the canvas, it just takes away the white space. It looks done. So I'm surprised that maybe he just didn't want to look like he was showing off, because like that's also a little bit embarrassing. It's kind of like going to karaoke and then being a really good singer and taking it too seriously. So maybe he didn't want to be like that guy.
That's an interesting read on it. I think he just I think he ran out of time. I think he was going for a nice, beautiful, elaborate rose, and then like really this probably wasn't that long that they were actually working on it, and he was like, oh, okay. I gotta do something.
5 minutes left. Okay, let me just fill this space up. Okay, I can see that, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, he didn't want to show off. Yes, he's humble.
He'll show up later with his beautiful painting that he gave Katie.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would love it if my best friend's father is a painter or was a painter, and like his artwork is so amazing. And like when we go to his gallery and seeing all of his huge paintings, it's just like, I don't know. I would just love if somebody made me a huge painting of something and it was made for me.
That's very thoughtful.
Better than a serenade. Like, don't serenade me. I'd rather you paint me a really nice picture, as long as it's not a self-portrait. And if it is a portrait of me, like, make sure that I look very good, because that doesn't fly. But if you do like an abstract art piece that you were inspired by me, I'm into it. 100%. Sushi was Andrew's, because they're foodies. I'm like, does eating sushi make you a foodie? I'm like, okay.
Do I need to show a photo
of that platter again?
I can't with you.
Foodie to me. Doesn't scream foodie to me. I don't think so.
Wait, there was something that was okay on that platter, wasn't there? There was the Lunchables and the gummy sour kids and
tacos.
Tacos.
Not Taco Bell
tacos, but
true. That platter was not foodie worthy. Yikes. And then Life by Blake, and it was basically a black canvas. Okay.
I knew it was going there.
I knew it was going there. I was like, Blake's just going to do a penis again or something.
He probably started with the penis and then just covered it over.
It just was also something in the same vein as that. It was so predictably that. But at the same time, I'm like, that might be the most sex positive thing that happened on this date. I don't really know.
It's not a painting, BB, and it's actually a backdrop. It's fabric. So it's not a painting. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's fine.
I was not surprised whatsoever. I thought he was gonna do something sexual again, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
But I said that his explanation was maybe the more sex positive thing.
I don't even remember what happened. What did he say? I don't know. Did you write it down?
He was like, it's a physical, visual representation. And I was like, okay, whatever, Blake.
Thank you. Oh, Tamika is coming here with the facts. So learned tonight that they were on the same hockey team. I did see that somebody circled their picture on a hockey team before. So I did know that. I might just not have remembered, but I did know it at one point. What kiss was Crazy Pants? Oh, wait, the kiss with Andrew? The Andrew kiss? Like in front of Justin?
During the date.
Yeah. I don't know. So night portion happens and she's like, cheers to clarity and moving forward. Cool. Blake takes her first And then this was, I think, a little bit of problematic. So he was like sitting here watching her, and I'm like, he looked like he was engaged, but like he also looked like he wanted to leave, like he didn't want to be there. It was very weird, his look. And then all I could say, I couldn't unsee the image that I think I sent it to you of him without the beard.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He looks actually better with the beard, I think.
He does. He does look better with the beard. I mean, it might also just be like they removed the beard, and so it's not going to look exactly like what he looks like, but it looks not cute. So Blake is saying, he eventually says, though, that my mom is going to love you. And then he says, I'm not in love with you, but it's heading there. I'm like, oh boy, this is like, that's like kind of kiss of death. Like,
my mom's
going to love you, though, was a strong play. That was a very strong play. A very confident move to be like, my mom's going to love you. Like, you're going to meet my mom. Hometowns are happening for us. Like, it was just very
like, I'm not in love with you. You're just going to have to trust me. Like,
well, of course he's not, because he just got there like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I don't think, I think it's rational that he's not in love with her, but I think that
but like maybe don't share that. Yeah.
Worried about somebody proposing in 2 weeks. That's where like I would be, maybe keep that a little bit quiet, because as we see in the preview, it looks like he's saying it to Tayshia maybe, that like I'm not in love with her, so maybe he's final two and he doesn't want to propose.
That's why I don't understand
why they insist
about the
engagement. Like, unless they're being pushed to like really say, I need to be engaged at the end of this. Like, that's what I want.
That's what
There's
Katie
no
wants.
need to hammer that point. Yeah, that's what she wants, right? That's what she's been saying. So it's like, so then
don't be surprised
if some people aren't willing to go there for that. That's like pretty serious for some people. They don't want to get engaged. Like, that seems pretty rational to me. Or in this case, we don't even know if he doesn't want to get engaged, but he's not rushing to say that he loves her. The real reason is probably because he's trying to time it at the perfect time so that he can win. But, you know, gotta build your way up to that reveal. You don't just jump from the, I think I might be falling for you, to the I love you right away, you know?
Yes, I hear you. I agree. Then we see, as you already mentioned, Justin's painting with the blue rose and the butterfly, and he had some sort of metaphor and analogy as to what it meant. I didn't listen. I was so checked out of this episode.
it was very basic.
It was like, it's like symbolizing me coming out of my cocoon throughout this experience. Like, and I wrote, honestly, this is perfect for Katie. She seems like someone who would love a butterfly.
She seems like a butterfly
gal.
She's gonna get a butterfly necklace, butterfly tattoo on her lower back.
She's like a girl that just like likes a butterfly moment. She feels that it feels in essence with her. So I thought it was a smart thing to give her, honestly.
But I couldn't watch their kiss. Their kiss was too much for me. I was like, nope, this is too much. It was too much. Then Michael A, and then the whole, okay, I know I'm rolling my eyes, and it's just, these are characters on a screen. I'm not really taking them as real people with feelings. So nobody come for me or Tanya. We're just talking about these characters. But Michael A, and then her being like, you know, every time I think it's about James, and I'm thinking about giving a rose to James. And like, I get bringing, like, that is very important, and it's very important to Michael. But like, I know that she doesn't think she's going to marry him. So I just think that she's kind of lying a little bit. She's kind of stringing him along. And so all the things that she's saying that she's not doing, she's kind of doing it, because I know she knows she's not marrying Michael A. I know she knows it.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I think deep down. And I feel like she's trying to be respectful about it, but it's also like,
you are
leading him on, or I don't know, because I don't really think that he actually wants to win either. Like, I'm kind of confused.
What about his line though? No one can love you like I do. I'm like, ugh.
Only got lines. That's all he has from his date onwards. All lines. It was all like very like
lines that
you would see in like a romantic
movie. Like, he's just like,
you know what though?
So
I just had a little bit of a thought. So I've been taking a pilot script writing class. and I started writing like a concept, and I was sharing it with a friend of mine who's an actress. And she's like, we were just talking. I was just like, I realized that I've been spending the last 20 years working on my acting career when I should be friggin' writing. I went to the WGA just to see what like people sell a script for, and it's between like $70,000 and $150,000 for a script. And I'm like, these scripts are terrible. I'm like, my first draft of my pilot, like the first 8 pages were better than any script that I've read in the last like 20 years. I'm like, what is happening? So I'm actually considering, she's like, my friend was like, hey, if you can start banging out rom-coms, I have people that will buy them. So I've been thinking of taking how to write a rom-com class.
Oh, totally.
And I'm like, maybe I should go and get all of his lines, because like I love that line about his wife, and like you get to fall in love twice. Like that's good. These are good lines.
He's got good lines, yeah.
So I might go back and transcribe some of his like his stuff.
I support this. I support this journey for you. I think that you have a wealth of knowledge of material from years and years of experience watching and dissecting all of these cliches and tropes.
Should I write?
You probably write something that's very much like just on par for any type of rom-com, because they're all so formulaic, right? Like I think that's part of what draws people even to this show or to a rom-com or something, is like you kind of want certain things to happen, and you know what you're gonna get. And for some people, the easier the better, right? Like we love those lines. So I mean, I don't love those lines, but in general, some people really want to watch the show for the romance aspect. So why not?
Should I even do one that's kind of like unreal? In the sense that like maybe it's like a romantic comedy surrounding like a reality show like The Bachelor or Bachelorette. That could be kind of fun. And she doesn't fall in love with one of the contestants. She falls in love with someone else or something. And like you know the tropes.
Yeah.
Anyways, I haven't thought about it yet, but I think I'm just gonna start banging out scripts.
Write
it.
Yes. First, I have to finish my one. So the one that I'm writing, my pilot, is about my experiences and all my colleagues as a flight attendant. And that's insane. I don't know if you watch Flack. Have you seen Flack on Prime? It's really good. It's with Anna Paquin. She's like a publicist in England. It's kind of like Unreal, but it's a publicist world. And so it's just a salacious look. And that's kind of where I'm going with my TV show. But after I write the pilot, I'm definitely going to start focusing on like just banging out rom-com scripts, like just getting them done. Anyways, that's a little bit of an aside here of my life, guys. You guys are this journey with me. You know, maybe we'll have a script reading on online or something.
Getting to know you.
Katie is not trying to be a stepmom. I don't think so, to be honest. I don't think that that's where she wants to be. I think Mike bows out eventually. I can see him. I can't see him introducing his child to her. No, I think they're going to have a breakup before like the final 3 to final 2 rows. Like I think that she maybe won't have the fantasy suite with him or something, or like
I don't around see him in fantasy suites at all. I don't see him in fantasy suites at all.
You don't see him like, let's just take it really slow.
I mean, I just think because of the kid thing, I don't think he's going to go through with going to fantasy suites. If that's already a lingering question, then like that's a good time to bow out and like not find yourself in that situation. Whereas like I could see Justin like going to fantasy suites. That makes a bit more sense to me. But assuming that again, Greg and Blake are the final two.
I don't know if Justin's going to get there either, though. I feel like Justin's going to be out 4.
Maybe actually.
That's what I'm feeling. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it's going to play out, but I don't see him going to final 3. They don't have enough chemistry in a way that like would warrant him maybe winning the show. I just don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Michael has been reading Harlequin romance novels. I'm going to actually start reading some of those again. I used to love I never read those, but I love like Jackie Collins. Like I read all of her books. Like they're just so trashy and just delicious. So I think I need to get back into that world of like trashy novels and then just make some trashy, like rom-com, salacious, like magazine-y kind of TV shows.
Yeah.
That's so fun. I mean, I'd watch them if they're salacious enough and glitzy. So
people like Hallmark movies for a reason. People like, you know, like they don't think they're pieces of art. It's just a thing that you watch and enjoy. So
yes, really, I literally have a rom-com in my head. I mean, I don't want to steal any ideas, but it's a lot easier to write somebody's idea than to come up with your own. Putting it out there. Maybe it's a new writing duo. Who knows? Okay, so what else happened? Anything? Vagina Flowers, that's done. Night Portion, that's done. Oh, Andrew S. He creates a moment for her. That was then, right? Yeah. Where they go outside and he's like, look at this, and turns on the twinkle lights and goes and lifts her up to get the note. And I don't remember what the note said, but anyways, I was just like, it was cute. Oh, that's something that I didn't mention with the Greg date, where at the end, that was the rain portion, correct?
Rain.
yes,
She
the
put the
Notebook
rain
moment.
on. It's raining in Seattle, and then they got to have like kissing in the rain moments. Now, some people were saying that this was to emulate the Notebook, but then another person was saying it's to emulate that climactic moment in Breakfast at Tiffany's when the lead and the two leads come together and they have a kissing moment in the rain. So I'm going to believe that it was Breakfast at Tiffany's because like the whole like adultery portion of the Notebook, I don't think that they're trying to portray what Katie's seat is in. So
I mean, it's
one of those classic romantic scenes, a feature of many songs, just the rain, being in the rain. It looks very uncomfortable to be pelted with that rain, but sure, Greg performed his role well for that scene. So
yes. So Andrew's note says, I'm falling for you. And she's like, oh my God, I'm falling for you too. They probably kissed. I'm not sure. Michael gets the rose for this date. So Andrew's a little bit hurt because he thought that they really connected in their moment. I did too, to be honest. I thought that he would have received the rose over Michael, but I'll take the 5 points. Thank you. So Andrew's chatting with the guys the next day. He's kind of disappointed with the fact that he didn't get a rose. Greg is still looking like terrified or like just like maybe it's like what did she say that his face looks like? Always sad. Looks like puppy dog
like
face.
Sad puppy, maybe?
Sad puppy face.
Resting sad face. Resting sad face.
He does have resting sad face.
Yeah.
But I think it's because he doesn't want to be there. That's what I think.
He's playing it up for sure.
You're a Hallmark girl. Okay. Oh my God, I was nearly in a Hallmark movie with Tia Mowry.
Hey.
I didn't book it though. I didn't book it. Whatever. I do audition for quite a few Hallmark thingy. This was Christmas in Detroit. we were on the hunt to find Smokey Robinson to sing at the Christmas charity event. That was, and I was playing the best friend, Nicole. But no,
Nicole.
didn't get it. Yeah, her name is Nicole Jones. So comedian, I don't know what her name is, Liza Schlinger, wrote and starred in Good on Paper 2021. It also includes Tyler Cameron. You should do it too. Oh, I need to see what this is.
And you can get
Is it
Matt
like
James in your movie.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I would put Thomas in my movie. I would not put Matt James in my movie. Like
Thomas Stan. Thomas Stan. No, Thomas Stan, Chantele.
You know that I'm gonna go against what everybody else thinks. Like I've just always been that person that's like, if everybody's going this way, I just don't want to go that way because it's just too annoying to follow the crowd, right? So I'm always going to go the opposite direction. There's so many times where there's like a viral video that's like circulating on Facebook or something, and I'm just like, I'm not watching it. Do you remember like what was it called? Coney 2012 or 20 something. And I just wouldn't watch that movie about like the warlord or whatever. People are just like getting mad at me and like, it's your responsibility as a black woman to watch this movie. I'm like, I'm not watching a viral video that's circulating Facebook, and like I'm just getting fights with people all the time.
You don't
So
want to be told.
What to do? You don't want to be told what to do.
yep, that's it. So I'm always gonna go against the grain when I can. And people can be an army with me, but I'm gonna be the Aquarius rebel that I am.
Is that an
Aquarian sign or trait? Just going
Yeah.
against.
Well, it's
Okay.
the rebellious sign, going against the grain, always wanting to be unique, doing things for community, but not anything that's traditional. It's always thinking outside the box. Yeah, it's Aquarius. And even the orbit of Uranus, which is one of its ruling planets, is like it actually has no specific orbit. You can't tell where it's going to go next. So it's erratic that way. So that's Aquarius.
Ooh.
So Natalie wants to know, what other shows have you been watching?
Oh,
Yeah, what are you on right now?
I'm not, honestly, I'm in a really dark space where I'm not really caught up with a lot of things that were happening. So I'm watching Real Housewives as always. Right now I'm watching all of the franchises that are currently airing. So Potomac, thank God, is back. But then also New York and Beverly Hills. I'm watching whatever Real Housewives is on. Chantele knows I started all of Below Deck from the very beginning. So I'm almost done the regular, like, main franchise. I haven't moved into any of the spinoffs. It's dark to admit that I'm also watching The Hills New Beginnings. I'm sorry. It's hard for me. Like, I'm just like in a place.
How have we not talked about this? That show. Oh my God, I need to send you. Do you want to watch Juicy Scoop?
No, I don't watch Juicy Scoop, but
okay. Spencer, yeah. Like I stand Spencer and Heidi. Like, they're the only people that I like on The Hills. Like, everybody else I want to murder, and I wouldn't actually do that ever. I'm a pacifist. I didn't really mean that. But like, Spencer goes on Juicy Scoop and just like tells about how he hates the entire cast and how just shitty they are, and it's hilarious. He's really funny and he gets it. He doesn't take himself that seriously. He knows what he's doing. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna find you the video because it's pretty awesome.
Find it, yeah.
This season to be a tough watch for sure, but it just like quenches a very dark side of my personality, which is just like I was the exact age where I grew up like being so obsessed with Laguna Beach and The Hills, so it hits a nostalgia factor for me that I can't really explain, but just that I've known these people for a long time. It's like people who are still watching Jersey Shore, right? It's like, no judgment. I understand. These people like hit a nerve for us. So I get it. It's kind of like,
it's a challenge for me, right? I grew up with all those people.
Not currently airing, but I'm always watching The Challenge and I'm always watching Survivor. I watch Top Chef. I watch a lot of reality. I'm just right now very behind because I would normally be on the Love Island. No, I've only seen like 3 episodes so far. I know. I'm sorry. 5 days a week though, like that's
and there's extra episodes. There's so many. Like,
still haven't even started Big Brother. I'm so sorry. I'm still on. Haven't even started Big Brother. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. But my main event is like when Sunday night hits, I'm watching Potomac. Like, it's a non-negotiable for me. It's like truly an exciting time in my life. So Sunday nights are where it's at for me right now. And the episodes have been extra long, and it's just been a great like way to end the weekend and go into the week. I'm so glad that it's back. So that's my must watch right now is Real Housewives of Potomac. Just so good.
I mean, you do have a good roster of stuff that you're watching. If I was watching all the Housewives, I probably wouldn't have time for everything else that I watch. So I had to choose. And I just, because like I fell off the Housewives a long time ago. And then I started watching.
I'm sorry. Drag Race.
Drag Race, of course. Yeah, I'm watching that as well, for sure. And I've just started watching Survivor Australia. That's a commitment. That's 3 episodes a week. I'm not going to cover it though, so I don't have to be on top of it. But because I'm watching Survivor, I'm covering Survivor South Africa. I kind of need to know what's going on in Survivor world. You know what I mean? So like Survivor Global. Anyways, back to the main event. Let's just blow through this so we're actually not talking for forever. We're like, oh, this is going to be short. And like, it's actually edging on long. Okay, so the one-on-one date is with Mike P. What did we think about Cuddle Queen Jean having them cuddle in the woods, where Mike P thinks that he looks like a drug lord, but I personally thought that he looked like a cult leader. What are your thoughts?
I wrote cult, so there's that. This felt like a scene from an Ari Aster film. Like this literally was. I was like, this is a scene from Midsummer. This white look. The weird vibe. I detest everything about this date. This is the one that they do where they make it purposely uncomfortable for the people that are on the date. This is a paint one that they do. This is whatever, the yoga one that Matt and Serena P did. That was very awkward. Like this, they purposely make people get physically close together where they know it's going to be peak discomfort. But what I was not prepared for, and I'm still not okay, is how much Mike talked about his mother in this date. Yes. This was too much for me. Like I actually felt so uncomfortable watching this. I cannot. Like I could not believe it. The whispering, everything about it, I was blown away by how uncomfortable that felt. So really, really did not need this at all in any capacity at all. And also,
well, it's like
Jean, I can't. Jean the Cuddle Queen, no. Another actor.
Well, okay, I love where I'm talking about all this stuff today, but I think I need you to watch it because you'll find it, I think, funny. I did the voice of an animation for Trailer Park Boys where I was playing Julianne, a cult leader. And so this is what it reminded me of, because we were like out in the woods, and like I was talking about, like, it's just I need you to see the episode because that's all I could picture was me, like the cartoon version of like me, sort of like as a cult leader. I think I was wearing a white gown in this thing. It's so awkward and uncomfortable, but this is what this date reminded me of. I don't know what episode's guy, but if you ever watch, I think it's the first season of the Trailer Park Boys cartoon. Near the end, like probably 3/4 of the way through, you'll find the scenes, and like it's so awkward. But I don't understand why he was talking about his mom. I don't understand why it was that uncomfortable. Because like, I don't know, if I'm interested in a guy and like we had to like cuddle for a second for a date, I don't know if it's because I'm an actor, but like I just didn't think it was that awkward for them to be giggling so much.
They're giggling like they took edibles and were like in the library being too loud. I was like, what's going on? Like, this is not that funny. It's just because he felt so uncomfortable, as Jean, the Cuddle Queen, pointed out. That's where the laughter comes from, the discomfort. But I didn't get the exact quote. I was trying to write it down because it was mind-blowing. But he said, Katie's a better cuddler than my mom. Gonna hate me for saying that, but like there's a time in every man's life where he has to like move on or something like this. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact quote. And that was when my soul left my body and Katie drifted away from, like, I felt her just literally go, like, leave. Her eyes like died. Like there's nothing behind him anymore. And that was that. And that was it. That was the end of it. And then, to make matters even worse, he tells us, the audience, in his moment to the camera, that she reminds him of his mom. And then he tells her that she reminds him of his mom.
And just so, like those moments where
Terrible.
when he's lying in his mother's lap and she would be like stroking his hair and he would just fall asleep. But these gentle moments that he had with his mother is what he's having now with Katie. And it's like they're fine moments, but like it's just not the right time. It was very uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable in like the fact that they were cuddling and like, you know, like that's not the uncomfortable part, but it was the bringing the mom into this like intimate date that was uncomfortable for me.
And you know what? I think there's a reason why, like, story of Oedipus and Oedipus complex, and this is the thing that's talked about. There is some kind of innate desire that some men have where they're looking for someone that like embodies qualities of their mother, but like probably what you shouldn't do is this. Like, this is not the time or place for this, and this is not what the girl that you're dating wants to hear. It's just not. Like, they do not want to hear that. Like
the only time you want to hear that is if your mother is like a I don't know, Michelle Obama, or you know what I mean? Like you remind me of my mom, like, and like,
exactly.
Oh, woo, like, yes, I'd make the cut. Like that would be different, but like that your mom's like such an excellent cuddler and she's great at stroking your hair, and that you're seeing yourself, like, I don't know, it just paints a strange picture if I start like going too deep into like imagination. So yes, I agree. They were laughing because they have no chemistry and felt weird about it. I do agree that was what was happening. To be with you, facts. There does not seem to be a match where each person likes each other equally. Yeah, agreed. Not at all. Johnny ain't having that mom stuff. No, the mom stuff. No.
Like, it wasn't like you, like, okay, so I do think they maybe played up the connection to give Mikey a little bit of credit, and it's just a little bit, because I do think that he does have some mom stuff going on. To give him a little bit of credit, I think they played up the connection between the cuddling and her reminding him of his mom. But then he lost me when he related the cuddling his mom to the cuddling Katie. That was where I started to really get unclear about what was happening. It's like, I can see it, like you said, qualities that your mom has that are very admirable and great qualities. Sure, you remind me of my mom. That's nice. But no, not with the cuddling stuff.
Not the nurturing touch. The nurturing touch of my mummy.
No, and that's like the mom. My mom's my best friend, or no, my mom's the best like cuddler I know. I need to get like that exact quote because I'm botching it right now. But it was enough to really
transcend.
Like, it was too much. I mean, I'm glad that this date happened just because it, like, you know, sent a jolt of something through me that like woke me up again, where I was just like, oh my God, this is really happening right now. And I texted you and I was like, I can't, like, this is too much. But because otherwise, I don't know what else in this episode could have possibly done this for me. This was
I don't know either.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
Like, even and within like all like the nurturing mom talk, but then he was like, you know, if it was up to me, I'd be humping everything. I was like, so you're talking about humping, and then like the nurture. It just all wasn't working for me.
If it was up to me, I'd be humping everything. You remind me of my mom.
No, it's not good. Not for the person that you're trying to date, and like you can say all these things separately, just not all in the same moment to intertwine on like the cuddle date. It just like, yeah.
Oh God.
So Katie says that
producers are so rude. They're so rude for doing this.
So Katie was saying that she was quick to judge in the past, like people that would rather wait for marriage. But in the end, I don't even know what happened. Like before, I guess they were changing to go to the night portion of the date, and she comes back crying and she hugs him, and she breaks it off, basically saying like she doesn't see a future with him, which is like, I don't know if it was the mom stuff. I don't know if it was like, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was when she left her body and she realized that like she can't be here with this man. But yeah, she breaks his heart.
It was bound to end that way. I think regardless of the mom stuff. But I do think that was like, we're not even going to the dinner portion. Like, we're just going to do this. And the white outfits, it was too much to pass up to not do the breakup. Because this is another trope of the series, is like someone sitting in wilderness waiting to be broken up with.
They love this.
So it was like too much to let go. Like it needs to be that way.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to work that out in therapy.
Okay, so
no, never that specifically, but oh man.
Not good for ensuring the proposal or like moving on in the sorry Mikey.
For securing the bag. No.
So back at the house, so the guys are talking about whether or not Mike is going to come back, and Blake is like, there's no way that sex positive Katie is going to like be moving Mike P forward. And I'm just like, roll my eyes, like, because you're so good in bed, Blake, you're such a sex positive man. I'm just was like I don't know. I'm over sex positive Blake. I know that they have a connection. I'm fine with that. I'm even fine with him being on this season, whatever. But I can't have him be the sex positive guy anymore because that is getting on my nerves. Done with that. So, wait, any of Katie's lives? Oh yeah, I haven't seen like their lives lining up, which I agree with that. I do agree with Blake in that moment. This was like, whatever, yeah. Blake. You know her so well because like you guys connect on a sexual level. Blech. So yes, they broke up and they go back. We get the crying in the wilderness moment, which we were looking for. And then what happens? Oh, and then you see the bag leave. we didn't get the bag leaving with Conor, but we got the bag leaving with Mike P. They didn't make him come back to the house. Very funny. Should you get points for the bag leaving? I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you know that you need it, but we'll give you the points.
Poor guy.
And then basically what happened here. So, Blake is like, yeah, I'm sure she's really shook up right now. It's like, whatever, Blake. We know that you went over there to do your say anything moment where you like blast.
What can I play now?
Yeah, you're like, shoot, I only had one song that on our date that we could play for her. And he's gone, bro.
We only have one song from our one date.
Let's get married. We'll play that one song on repeat. So Greg and Michael have their roses. Is at the rose ceremony. Katie telling Tasha, and Caitlin that she doesn't know what she's gonna do. Blah blah blah. Like it's a really hard decision. And I'm like, you know what you're gonna do. Like, she knew. I don't know why she's pretending like she didn't know what she was gonna do. She knew.
I guess she maybe knew, but I was surprised by like who were the options. Like a more tough decision this time, as we saw.
True. So Blake, yes, we knew that Blake was going to get the rose, and then it was going to be between Justin and Andrew. And I actually thought that she had a better connection with Andrew, but then I was like, oh, wait, they haven't done that date yet that we've seen with them on like the horseback and like carriage. So I was like, oh my God, is she going to get rid of Andrew? We thought Andrew S was going to make the final four. We thought he'd get hometown. Yeah, and it didn't happen, and Justin got the fourth rose, so he's going to be getting a hometown date. And yeah, Andrew is done. He's gone. She walks him out. He was really sweet about it. He was tearing up a bit, a couple little tears. And then I was like, well, why isn't this episode over yet? Like, I was like, there's still like 10 minutes left. I'm like, what's happening? Like, the rose ceremony's done. And then I'm like, oh, right, I forgot the scene that ends up happening. So she's at her room, and he comes to her room because he needs to see her again or whatever. And I'm just like, what? Like, and there's like joking and laughing about it or whatnot. And they're just like, you're a great guy. I just didn't want to like have our last date be like our last moment be sad. Like I wanted us to like leave on a positive note, which was cute. I liked that. And so he has a date card. It was with his own handwriting, though. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It wasn't with like,
it wasn't the regular font, date card font.
It wasn't. And so when he actually ends up leaving, he gives her this card. He's like, open it when I'm gone. So he's walking down the stairs and he's leaving, and she reads the card, and it said, what did it say? I wrote it down. If you change your mind, I'll be waiting. And she's like, no, like, my Andrew, where is he? I can't find him. Where is he? Elevator? Like, and then she finally gets down the stairs and she sees him in a run Hungju that we saw in the trailer. So 5 points there for a run Hungju. And I guess 5 points for him showing up, or is that like that's the same thing? We'll decide.
I mean, whatever.
And she's like, just needed to see you again. And she does say, if I could make it that you stay, would you stay? And I liked that he said no. Because he didn't want to be dumped again, because obviously if you're going to dump me now, there's nothing going to make me be able to catch up to the other 4 guys to where you are in the relationship with them. And it just will be next rose ceremony that you're going to let me go. She's like, I've already felt the pain of it. I don't want to have my heart broken again. I'm out of here. So I like that he left like that. What did you think about this whole end moment?
Did you write this in your rom-com? Did you write this scene?
I'm going to now.
I
love the running down the stairs moment. Like, where is
real
he?
ones know
That their Bachelor audition begins the moment they're eliminated. So I feel like the letter was a nice play. And I'm just confused about why Katie was like, if there's a way to stay a little longer, would you? Like, okay, even if you're conflicted or whatever, what does stay a little longer mean? Like, what, till hometowns? Like, what is a little longer? I don't understand. Like, why? Like, you eliminated him. You made that choice. Like, I just don't understand this. So at the end of the day, I think it was maybe more of a setup to kind of like open the door to see, one, how people receive him and if maybe he's someone that they could consider being the lead, and two, to boost him to have more of a story in the event that he is, to be like, I was in love with Katie. Like, I loved her. And I put the offer out that I was going to wait for her. And that's just how I am in love, is this way. You know, like, it's like I could see it. So I feel like that was what it served. Because I don't really think
that.
I didn't hear that part. So BB is saying, did Katie eliminate Andrew once he mentioned unemployment? Oh, but he's like he's a soccer player though, so he probably has money saved. Like I feel like has money saved. It just seems, you know what I mean? Like he probably plays
really,
half a year.
Like, is waiting for Katie to change her mind. I think it's strictly a romantic gesture for
Potential
future appearance.
No, what about the unemployment? Did you hear him mention unemployment?
Oh, I don't
I don't know if BB's making a joke.
Uh-oh, Cassandra, that last hug jump was to Andrew was unnecessary. Well, it was necessary for some points for Tanya. I don't know what I said, BB, but I live to make you laugh. Andrew said, I'll be waiting, but couldn't even wait 5 minutes for her.
No, why'd you read the room? I left. I gave you the card. That was supposed to be the end.
Yes.
He's like, you sure you don't want to stay? He's like,
no.
Gave you the card. You do your thing. When it doesn't work out with any of these guys, like, we can try it again later.
I'm glad he said
no. Also, I was just like, let's cut to the chase here. We don't need to entertain this idea, really. We're good.
Not at all. So that's pretty much what happens. Yeah, she said that what she said to him, like, she's building stronger connections with other people, and that he deserves more than she can give him. So that's fine. You know, I think it's fine. I'm fine that she let him go there. I can understand that it was maybe too friendly, their relationship. They didn't have, like, I don't know. I don't see it with anybody really. Her best connection is with Blake, then Greg, then Michael, I guess, then Justin. I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening here. It's very weird.
It's a pure like Blake runaway, I think. Like it's just very clear that that's got to be how it ends at this point. I think Blake also is interested in her and likes her, so, and I think they're a good match.
They're fine.
I that's the only way I could really see it ending. I do not see her and Greg really being like together at the end based on everything, and then they keep talking. Like she's mentioned to him like multiple times that she's worried that he's gonna leave. So I feel like the reason that they're putting that in is to plant the seed in case he does choose to leave. My question is just like, when is that gonna happen, and how is it gonna happen? Like, how is that gonna play out? Because I don't see him proposing to her. I don't.
Neither do I. I don't see him proposing to her at all either. I also I was so annoyed. I already kind of imitated it before, but when Michael was saying to the guys how excited he is about hometowns, I'm just like, oh, he's just trying too hard. I'm done with it. Katie, Andrew discussed Andrew's future. Oh, Andrew discussed Andrew's future with football, which is almost over, and he said he did not know what he would do after. He seemed lost. I mean, fair. He's also 26, and he's probably been living overseas for the last 7-8 years. So I'm sure he has money put aside. Like, he's probably getting paid like £50,000 a season. Few seasons. He's probably somebody.
You can milk at least a few years out of this. So you're good, man. You're good for now.
And he's going to be up with his buddy, his cousin, Clay, and maybe they're going to start something together. They'll start like a gym and get an online app. Like,
wasn't Clay also a football player too?
Yeah, but I think it's American football, and I'm feeling like his cousin is like soccer football. That's what my guess.
Oh, interesting. I thought football, but
do they play football in Austria?
I don't know. I didn't
even think about that.
So I just thought it was soccer.
Maybe based on his build, I assumed that, but whatever. I'll look into that.
Yeah, let's look into that. Would Katie move to Canada? No, I think that they both moved to LA. Like, that's the move.
Yeah, he's gonna move to wherever she is.
Not a fan. Consider is not a fan of Blake. He's probably gonna be an influencer now. Yeah, that's what Andrew's gonna do. He's 26. He's so cute. He's really charming. He can do that British accent. He has a cousin that's in the franchise, also athletic. Like, I'm sure Andrew's gonna go on Paradise, or he's gonna be the Bachelor. Like, he's good. He's set up pretty nicely.
He does play American football, not soccer. Yes.
They do that over there?
I guess it might be
like a rugby thing, or like a
no. It's like football, but I think the team is like maybe connected to an NFL team, but like a farm team situation is what it looks like. That's based in Vienna. So if you Google Andrew Spencer football, you can see him with the football, living his truth.
I'm wrong here. I'm wrong.
Yeah, and Katie's definitely not moving to Hamilton. So
no, he's not coming. She's not coming over here. Slash, though, I mean, we have Kevin and Astrid like shacked up in Liberty Village. So
yeah, but Kevin lives in Toronto and also is the Canadian profession of firefighter. So,
well, maybe Blake will move to Toronto.
Maybe Blake will move to Toronto. I don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe Katie will move. She's expressed that she's down to go wherever. So, what does Katie do? What's Katie's job?
He's like a account manager or business manager or I think account manager. That's my guess. I don't even know what that is. Okay. But did you look it up or no?
I'm looking it up. Oh, she's a bank marketing manager.
Same thing.
Okay, so she could probably do that
anywhere.
She could probably do that wherever.
Like Chase Bank in, I don't know. I think we moved to LA. That's like the hub for everybody, LA or New York. So So does not want Blake in the USA. No, she doesn't. Cassandra is over him. I don't know if it would be similar to Canadian football. I think it's going to be American football rules. Anyways, we did talk for a long time. I really thought that we'd get nothing out of this episode, but it was still a good time, guys. Thank you for being here to keep the laughs and the jokes about this season. Tanya, are you working on anything you want to share with the people? And you're like, no.
No, this is my main.
This is my mainstream right now. Just recapping the show.
Feel you. We're almost done. And then hopefully we'll get a break. But I think that Bachelor in Paradise will be easier because it's like, I feel like the episodes will be shorter. They're just going to be a little bit lighter. It'll be more of a conversation instead of like so much stuff happening. So I'm actually looking forward to the relaxedness that Bachelor in Paradise usually have. And it would be like a jokey kind of conversation. So I'm looking forward to it. And this episode, this season, like, it's lost me. So no, thank you, BB and Cassandra, Tamika, Natalie. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry, but we do appreciate having you here in the chat with us because it makes it a lot more entertaining. And yes, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe right down below, like, leave a comment. Tell us if you liked the Mike P date and if you've ever seen a cuddling specialist or would you apply for that job? I wonder how you get into that. Like, how do you I'm an exceptional cuddler?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's something to be said maybe from actually do know somebody that does this. And I think for some people who have maybe more of a difficulty with that intimacy or like could really use the actual physical support of being near someone, people that do cuddling stuff professionally can actually facilitate and provide them with an experience that's like safe and like nice to actually feel that like physical connection. So I do get it like as what it is, but this in here is not what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely seen, I'm probably in like, I don't know, Cosmo magazine where they talk about like, I'm a professional cuddler and like for the reasons that you've already mentioned. So yes, I am just teasing and joking about it. I wouldn't want to do that because I wouldn't want to be, I wouldn't want to be a professional cuddler, but if you have any thoughts about this as a profession, please leave a comment so we can hear about your experiences and how you felt about that particular date. And the hug jump at the end, was it unnecessary or did we need to have Katie run into Andrew's arms even though she wasn't going to be dating him anymore? Tell me what you think. And then other than that, we'll see you next week. Next week, Monday, most likely again. Bye.
Bye.